You could barely guess that a sumo stable was here. This was Miyagi-no, 12 days after closure. A dangling bamboo stable plaque, the only reminder of what once was. 2 days after these shots were filmed, Takabaho became the first ex-Miyagi-no man to join the current tour, being born in Sunday's location of Gunma. There, he told the press, "The move to Isegahama stable has brought many changes. We lower rankers now sleep on the weights room floor, or in the training area itself. It's more humid than our old home, and many of the rules are different, so there's much adjusting to do. But there are lots of guys to train with now, lots of seniors giving advice, and practice sessions are intense. As I myself am injured at the moment, I'm not in the practice ring, but Coach Miyagi-no certainly is, and is rallying troops with, 'Let's give ourselves a right good workout.'" Coach Isegahama, meanwhile, advises from the platform. Takabaho is now stablemates with a one-time high school rival, Hayate Fuji, who reached high school Yokozuna. The two were seen chatting and buying snacks together in the Gunma arena. "When we fought back in high school," Takabaho recalled, "he just blasted me straight out." Now, as the Chris Sumo channel position on this entire affair sometimes gets misstated, let me just restate here so no one has any doubt. Hokuseiho committed some vile acts and deservedly was dismissed. He could plausibly be in jail. Sumo chiefs have handled this with the pettiness and twisted logic of 6-year-olds. They deservedly come under fire for that, as well as for constant self-denial of all the wrongs they oversee, leaving employees only partly paid for the lion's share of 2 years, and reinstating an office chief who terrorizes his staff, to name but 2. Oh, and demoting the one man who protested that call. But, also, Ex-Hakuho is no angel in this. He's a terrible team player who viewed stable management as a part-time job, with other business interests forever coming first. Only once a month at Miyagi-no stable would he put on a sash for training. According to Takabaho, it's now 20 times a month. He's finally giving all to this job, and all his charges will benefit. But none of these things should have happened, which means sumo needs reform from top to bottom. That is my position after 16 years on the ground in Japan, as of this week. Case in point on the need for reform, I've just learned tonight. The Onosato affair. What's that, you may say? Well, don't ask me. It's been under wraps since last September, when Coach Nishonoseki informed compliance chiefs that Onosato had been drinking with an underage stablemate. For context, this was just at the time Seto Nomi was being fired for underage drinking, and 1 month before Chiyoshishi quit over being forced to drink underage. Those incidents were heavily portrayed as isolated ones at the time. The Orosato investigation has only just concluded, 7 months and 3 tournaments on from the incident. Onosato and Nishonoseki have both been strictly warned. They will not face pay cuts or suspension. Does this put a new spin on the charging practice hazing the Bright Hope suffered last week? In other news, Naoya Kusano, last year's World Heavyweight Champion, has joined Isegahama stable to work with idol Miyagi-no. The latter effectively signed him up several months ago, but was cut from official recruitment photos, due to more pro-sumo pettiness. Ex-Hakuho was at least filmed on the sofa, alongside Coach Isegahama, as they spoke to a suited Kusano at his one-time Buntoku High School. The Nichidai grad debuts in May at the equivalent of Makushita 60. Also debuting in May will be Kosei Motomura, who passed his sumo physical at the Kokugikan last Friday. The internet sensation of the 2019 Hakuho Cup will now join Sarugatake stable. Despite all those rumours unearthed in that court case, many of you will exclaim. The reality is, he's been directly brought in by assistant coach Hidenoyama, who is breaking away to form his own stable, which is currently under construction. That is how the ex-Koroshogiku must have persuaded Kosei's parents. At just 159 centimeters, Motomura is the shortest wrestler to debut post-war. When quizzed on the plight of smaller wrestlers at Sunday's tour event, weight-gaining maestro Ura replied, "I think bigger guys have a natural advantage, but size isn't everything in sumo. Small guys should fight with that in mind, and I think it's good more of them are being given their chance to join. The problem they will face is in gaining the weight. You can drop 10 kilos in a matter of weeks, but putting them on can take months or years." Finally, in actual tour news, Asanoyama has strained his left elbow and sat out several practice bout sessions, with most of his bouts post-resumption coming against second-tier foes. "It's better to fight the second tier than do no fighting at all," he said. "At present, the pain is not of much concern. I reckon I should be alright." And on his future prospects, he said, "I can't just get by on vigour alone, as I could in my earlier days. I can't just reach over the top anymore, as my armpits are at increasing risk of attack. So I'm trying to fight from lower down. Even if I miss a belt grip that way, I can still apply arm block pressure. The moment of truth is here. I must get through May injury-free and with 10 wins or more under my belt, as I seek to regain my former rank." And also pursuing Ozeki is Daieisho, but from a lower rank than usual. His losing score in March has taken him outside Elite Saiyaku level for the first time since early last year. "I went into March intent on rising, and yet finished with that losing score. It's mortifying," Daieisho said. "Only those who take their chances make Ozeki. Kotonowaka is one of those. I no longer view him as my junior, as he's such an excellent fighter, but it's still not nice to be beaten to sumo's second rank by him. We've done some good training together on tour, and I'm currently learning loads." His best friend Takakesho, though, is sitting things out this time. "Sad," Daieisho admits, "as it leaves me with so much free time. I therefore find myself sleeping more. Perhaps because I've turned 30.